Mic check 1 2. What is this? Santana's back to business. What's going on, team? What an eventful weekend for me. That's for sure. I could say that. Oh shit! My monitor just turned off, so it's not good. Let's see if it turns on. Alright, we good. Yeah, it was an eventful weekend for sure. Finally got back to the other house after moving into the new house. Kind of got the weekends. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I kind of got the weekends a little confused here. I thought this was the weekend I was gonna stay over there, but it turns out that's next week on Wednesday. So had to take my PC and my monitors and everything, put it in the car to put it back out in the other house, to then have to come back today, and then I'll be back again Wednesday. So just gonna give everybody another 3 minutes, well 2 minutes to join. At 5:05 we'll get started. And then we'll update what we gotta update, man. It's been a little bit. I know that it's been a pretty slow couple weeks on the charts, so we'll do what we regularly do on these weekly market breakdowns. We'll go over the overall market makers pattern in the daily time frame. We'll update the daily time frame if we need to, daily highs, daily lows. Same thing on the 4 hour highs, 4 hour lows. Look at any continuations that we might have into for this new upcoming trading week, and do the same thing on the 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows, and look for any continuations. What's good, Mr. Bashir? Welcome, my brother. Good rest I didn't have, but I had a great weekend, man. I can't complain. I was pretty much babysitting my sister's 10-month-old, and it was very brutal. No sleep, but it's okay. Hey, Jessica. How are you? Say, aw. Nah, man. This weekend for sure showed me I am not ready for a kid. That's a fact. Yeah, I still got a little sister. She's 11 months younger than me, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, nah, man, but that baby was crazy. My sister was out there. We went this weekend to Orlando. She had an event. She made her, what is it? She did a at-home bakery, pretty much. Especially now that she's a stay-at-home mom with the kid. So every weekend for like the past 2 months, she's been doing pop-up shops, going to farmers markets, selling her cookies and brownies and all that shit. Just fire. And then she got invited out to do an event at a skating rink over there in Orlando. So she came over the new house. The event was from like 11 p.m. all the way till 3 in the morning. So I was pretty much watching over the baby while he was asleep. But since he was in a new house, new crib, there's he did not want to sleep, man. He was not with it. So last night was crazy. Like he woke up, I'm gonna say like at 12. He didn't go back. Like he didn't really calm down till like 2 in the morning. By that time, I went from upstairs to downstairs like 2 times, see if he wanted milk. He didn't want milk. Um, until my body gave out. We were just sitting on the couch and we were looking at we had like a little projector that shoots up lights and stars and different colors and stuff. We were looking at that for like an hour and a half until my body just gave out. I knocked out. He ended up falling asleep on top of me, but little man could have fucking escaped and gone to the other side of the couch or whatever. But it was fun. Did that for 2 nights pretty much. That was my Saturday night. That was pretty much my Friday and my Saturday night. But it wasn't too bad. I didn't have to change no diapers, so that's a win in my book. Still going strong. I haven't changed a diaper yet. I went through East Kids when they were younger. Well, not really the other one, but I've gone through multiple sets of kids in my lifetime. Have not changed a diaper, so we're still good. Yeah, that's not a me thing. So, nope. Oh, what if you gotta change his diaper? Nope. Fucking 10-month-old better learn how to wipe. What's good, Albert? Welcome, my brother. Welcome. We'll get started here. We'll give everybody another minute. We'll get started. Yeah, I made myself some coffee. I usually don't drink coffee. Got a bottle of water next to me, so I'm ready to get this week started, man. From Friday to Sunday feels like forever. Oh man, trust me, I know exactly what you're saying. I used to feel that exact same way, but that's because you're looking forward to the week to start, all that. So once you get used to it, once you really just stop thinking about it, that's when it flies. Like you say, you say now that it feels like forever, but for me now it's like, yeah, time flies. But I'm always ready for the week to start. Alright, so let's get started. So we already know the pairs on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name. Those are the pairs we're going to be going over in order from the top to the bottom, starting off with AUDUSD and finishing off with USOIL. Any questions in the chat before we get started? Anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys want to go over before we get started? Any entries you guys took? Any pairs you guys have any questions about? Just let me know. If not, again, it shouldn't be too long of a session. Again, a lot of these pairs are still in the same area that they've been in for the last 2 weeks, just stuck in a lower time frame consolidation. So, again, we'll update what we need to update. We'll talk about what we got to talk about once we get to those pairs, but I'm not really expecting anything too crazy out of the charts for right now to update up until tomorrow. That's when I'm pretty much expecting the charts to do what they got to do going into tomorrow's trading session. So, any questions before we get started? What am I doing here? Daily time frame the months. Okay, so July, August, November, fucking September, October. What a few lines. He's still lucky to have you, man. I know. He's definitely loved, bro. That kid is always smiling. Like he doesn't really cry. He only cries like if he's in bed, he wakes up, wants milk. But outside of that, he's a very happy little kid. Very happy little boy. Have you considered trading both London and NYC sessions? I mean I do it, but not really. Like you wouldn't really see me waking up at 2, 3 in the morning, Eastern time to trade London session. Um, but yeah, London and NYC are the best sessions to trade. Um, there has been times let's just talk about this year, right? In the last 5 months, that I would wake up at the time, 2 o'clock, 3 a.m. to look for different things to see if the charts are moving, especially since we've been having a lot of GBP news recently. Well, this year we've had a lot of GBP news. I have been looking at London, but again, I'm mainly really only trading NYC. And again, the reason for that, and I say this analogy every single time, but it's the same as if you're playing any sport. You have 4 quarters, right? In this case, we have 3 major quarters in trading, right? I would rather sit out if we're playing 3 quarters, right? I would rather sit out of the first two and then play in the last one, right? Because in the last one, you already know what's going on. You already know what's happening, how it's happening, when it's happening. Chart's already giving you what you need to see, and you just attack at the end during the NYC session. Could you do that in NY, or I'm sorry, in London? Of course, right? Because especially in the market conditions that we've been in for the last couple months now, a lot that we've been waiting for to happen during Asia and London session, right? The things that usually happen throughout Asia and London have been happening all in Asia and then giving you the entry during London, and then not really giving us anything during NYC because pairs already hit ADR. Price is just going to consolidate for the rest of the day. So as of recently, have I considered trading London? Yes. Have I done it? Not really. Only a few times, like a handful of times this year. But I will say that for the next month, for June, if all of these pairs are acting the exact same way, I will be trading London session. We're just gonna, what I waited for, I think I said this at the beginning of this month, but you know, this month obviously we're waiting to see if anything good were to happen. There hasn't been anything. We've just been in consolidation this entire month for a lot of these pairs. So starting next month, I will be trading London session if the market continues to move the same way it's been moving for the last 2-3 months. So let's get started. So AU, we know we're in A2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the bottom. We know that AU, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. And we're looking for a lower high to be set to continue down to a lower low. Right, again, price did reach another point of interest, which was these highs. And we can see that price kind of just faked everybody out, made everybody believe price was going to continue. And then we know that we caught onto the zone of consolidation pretty early, which again, in the lower time frame, we already kind of had that indication once we started seeing price giving us a shoulder head shoulder. So we already knew in order for us to just continue to look for these lows, in order for us to even see, right, because we did have 2 weeks of drop. Right, sorry, we had 2 weeks of drop. What were we expecting this week? A third week. But we understood that before we even had this third week low, we knew that the market was going to give us a shoulder head shoulder. So this is the biggest reason as to why this third week low wasn't hit, right? Outside of the fact that we were in a zone of consolidation in the internal time frame, externally in the 4-hour, we could see that price was still giving us that sideways movement. So let's take off, what's this? This is the break of structure. We'll talk about the BOS now, and then this I could take off. Let's add a few weekly lines here. I am going to have to take a few seconds out of your guys' day to add these lines since we didn't do these last week. But that's okay. Sunday at 5 p.m. Sunday at 5 p.m. We'll just add a few lines here so I don't have to do this every time we do the session. Right, so we had 2 weeks of drop and then price ended up giving us a counter rise. And again, we're still trading higher high, higher low, and high. Damn. And higher high, just stuck in this 4-hour zone of consolidation. And then on the 30-minute, price gave us a day of rise, then Thursday, price gave us a day of drop, and then Friday gave us a day of rise. We were in the zone of consolidation, which price did break above, but now we're trading at the previous higher high again. So still trading between the same 30-minute low, which is down here, and our 30-minute high, which is up here. AU, just still got to be patient. Again, a lot of these pairs, guys, is going to be the same. Like we've been talking about AU, and we've been saying the same thing about AU since May 14th. So the past 11 days, we've been talking about the same thing on AU. Euro AUD, I'm not going to update the daily time frame. I'm not going to add the months on the daily time frame until the end of the month. We'll do this next week on next week's weekly market breakdown. But EA, we know we are in level 3. We were in V2, which was a second zone of consolidation, looking for that push number 3, which we did end up getting. We're still missing a few pips till the most recent high. So we still know that price is most likely going to give us another push to the top side, right? But we knew that we had 3 months of rise. After 3 months of rise, the market, you already know, for the next month, price is either going to move sideways or go down. And price here has been moving sideways. On the 4-hour time frame, we had a week of no net where price just moved sideways, and then this past week price ended up giving us a very slight rise, just a little push to the top side. No continuations, still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, waiting to see if price wants to give us a higher low to then continue to make higher highs, or if price is going to continue this downtrend push, right, and give us a steeper pullback to fill the gap up here that we have on the daily time frame to then continue. Again, the reason why I'm saying that is because we know that on the daily time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high. This could be the higher low, 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 this could be the higher low. We have all of these different areas as to where price could give us a pullback to, right? And what we're waiting for is like, well, okay, we know price is at a point of interest. Cool, what are we waiting for? Well, now in the lower time frame, we're waiting for continuations. We're waiting to see those higher highs and higher lows instead of lower lows, lower highs. We're waiting for those change of characters. We're waiting for the break of structures, right? All of these confirmations is what's going to let us know what price wants to do. At this moment, we have the change of character, higher high, higher low. We have the break of structure, higher high, and then price ended up giving us higher low, right? Then gave us another higher high, then gave us a lower low change of character, right? Which in this case here, right? The reason why I don't even want to say that this is higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, is because this is really just a zone of consolidation, right? But regardless, doesn't matter how we paint this up, we know that this is higher high, right? Even if we say this, right? Higher low, higher high, boom, lower low. So it doesn't matter how we mark this up. Right now, this is still technically a change of character, lower low. And we know that we're trading between this 30-minute high over here. It's a pretty small zone. That's okay. We'll update this. Pretty sure this week, as soon as Monday's trading session finishes, we'll know exactly. Well, not finishes, but once it starts moving, that's when we'll know exactly what price wants to do. Right, even gave us a little 30-minute engulfing candle here at the opening candle, but there's no bottom wick on this green candle right now, so just gonna wait it out. We had 2 days of rise. On the third day, price gave us a rise in no net, right, where it gave us a slight rise but then consolidated towards the end of the day, and then price gave us a day of drop. So still gonna be patient with EA. Looks good. Again, the only thing I don't like about EA right now is the fact that we're still trading between lower lows and lower highs in the higher time frame, looking like price wants to give us that push back down to the bottom to fill this gap up and then continue. So just gonna be patient with EA. With EURCAD, we have no continuations on the daily time frame. This is still a pair. Again, I'm not gonna mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high. All of this is part of the same structure. I'm going to keep it like this for now until price decides what it wants to do at these highs. On the 4-hour time frame, we had a week of no net where price just moved sideways, and then we have another week this week where price is just moving sideways. Right, no continuations at this moment, still trading between higher high and higher low. And then on the 30-minute time frame for EURCAD, we had a higher high change of character, higher low. Price gave us another higher high but failed to give us a break of structure, and then price went right back down and gave us another change of character, lower low, which happened here. Then gave us another 30-minute lower low, which happened over here. Lower high, lower low. So we know that on the 30-minute, we're trading now between this 30-minute low and this 30-minute high. Then price price gave us a day of drop. And then gave us 2 days of drop, counter moving against the trend. Right, and then we knew that price was going to fail to give us those new highs because we had these gaps at the bottom of the market. So price filled up that gap on EURCAD, which is good. That's exactly what we wanted to see. But we still have this gap at the bottom of the market. And again, we're still trading between higher high, higher low, and higher high. And price right now is just sitting at the higher high, just moving sideways. So as soon as price either gives us a confirmation that we're going to break above to continue to look for those buys, is the only place we'll start looking for those buys, or as soon as price fills up that gap at the bottom of the market, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades again on EURCAD. But EURCAD right now is just moving counter trend. EURUSD is another one that has multiple gaps here at the bottom of the market. We're still in an overall uptrend. We were in V1, which is the first zone of consolidation in an uptrend. We had the break of structure of the zone of consolidation, and now we know that we're looking for the pullback, right? After a higher high is set, we're looking for a pullback, a higher low. After a break of structure, you're looking for a retest, right? You're looking for the break and the retest. Very similar to the other pairs that are in an uptrend. This has 3 months of rise. After 3 months of rise, we already knew this month we're going to see price either go down or move sideways. And right now it could finish however it wants to at this moment. We only got 5 days left for this month, right? We got 31 days. So pretty much till Friday. This could still be a no net for the month. So still got to be patient with EU. We're still sitting at these higher highs. Just going to wait it out. There's really nothing more we could do about it. On the 4-hour time frame, price was trending higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we went down and gave us a change of character, lower low. Not only that, but price also gave us a shoulder head shoulder on the 4-hour time frame. Gave us the break, the retest, to then continue. So now we're kind of waiting to see again, where does price want to go? It gave us already those 3 months of drop, gave us a rise for, weeks. This week, price ended up giving us a week of rise, and we still have that gap at the bottom of the market. So now here on the 30-minute, we know we wanted to see the change of character, which we got, higher high, higher low. We wanted to see a break of structure, which we still haven't gotten. Price is still testing these highs. No valid break of structures just yet. We had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, we know the market's going to go down or move sideways, and we ended up going down. And then on Friday, price ended up giving us a day of rise, right? And at this moment, we still know that we're trading now. Still going to market even though we don't have a clean break of it just yet. I'm not going to update the highs. I'm just going to update the lows, right? We're trading between this higher low, and in order for this to be a valid break, for us to look for a higher low to then continue, we need to see a valid break of structure of these highs over here. So until we don't get this type of move, I'm not going to be looking for any trades. So EU, we'll give it a little bit. GA on the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and delete some of these drawings here. Daily time frame on GA, we're sitting at a higher high. We're in level 3 rise and an uptrend. We had 3 months of rise. On the 3rd month, gave us a rise no net. Could we expect price to continue to push to the top side and give us that 4th month variation? Again, at the beginning of the month, we talked about how this is going to be very low probability just based on how steep the pullback was towards the end of the month. So we weren't really expecting it. Now, we are seeing how the internal time frame is shaping up, right? We do see higher highs and higher lows. We have no gaps at the bottom of the market for this one. So GA is honestly the best looking pair that we have right now. No gaps in the market, following the trend, still making higher highs and higher lows. The 4-hour, we had a week of no net last week, and then this past week here, unless price for some reason drops down like crazy, we should have a week of rise, and we'll update this if we need to tomorrow in the morning. Right? We know that we have a daily engulfing candle here at the bottom. Would love to see price fill that or go down and retest that engulfing candle. And then on the 30-minute, price ended up giving us lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high, higher low. They ended up giving us higher high. Right, so we had higher high, higher low, higher high. I'm not going to say that this is higher low, higher high. This is all part of the same trend here. And This is going to be a pretty big zone, but that's okay. We know that we're trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows down here. And then price gave us a day of rise on Thursday, and then Friday gave us a day of drop. So no continuations. We'll definitely keep an eye on GA for the week. Again, guys, any questions, just let me know. Pretty much almost done. We're already halfway through it. Any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over, any entries you guys want me to look at, anything else you guys want me to explain, just let me know. GCAD, we're in level 3 and an uptrend. We were in V2, which again, V2 is the second zone of consolidation. We had the break of structure. We had the retest, right? We had the higher high. We have the higher low. And now we're looking for those continuations into the higher highs. No continuations on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we had 2 weeks of rise on the third week, which was this week. Price ended up giving us a new high and then finishing off on a no net. Right now, what's the only bad thing with this pair, right, is the fact that price is sitting at a higher high on the daily time frame. We're just sitting at these higher highs, right? We still don't have a valid break. On the 4-hour time frame, same thing. We still don't have a valid break just yet, right? But the question is, could we be expecting price to continue to push to the top side? On the first week, price gave us the break of structure of our zone of consolidation, and instead of just giving us a retest to continue, price gave us another zone of consolidation where price is just moving sideways, right? It's moving sideways. It hasn't really given us a clean retest, nothing, just moving sideways. So at this moment, we go down to the 30-minute, and on the 30-minute, what type of structure do we see? Same thing. At one point, we had the change of character. We had the break of structure, right? Price gave us a new high, which was for this wick here, but we were trapped in a zone of consolidation. Price ended up giving us a day of no net, again, where price just moved sideways, and then gave us pretty much another day of no net here. 45 seconds, it could be a drop. Let's see. Yeah, it's not touching it yet. We got 35 seconds. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if we get enough pips for price to give us a no net. Alright, before that, let's do this, right? So on the 30-minute, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price gave us a change of character, lower low. So let's at least change this. Change of character, lower low, change this to red. We're trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows down here. Let's see, we ended up finishing as a pretty close, but we did finish on a drop. Watch, price never touched these lines, or price never touched the candle. Yeah, it missed it by a few pips, literally a fraction of a pip. It missed it. So day of drop, no problem. No continuations on GCAD either. Just gonna wait this one out. For GJ, and my wrist hurts. GJ, I'm just gonna skip it. I'm just gonna breeze through this. This is still one that I'm not trading. We're still stuck in this huge zone of consolidation. Unless we have any type of continuations, I'm not gonna be trading GJ. And then price is just moving sideways. And then on the 30-minute, we had price give us lower low, lower high, lower low. Yep, I'm not trading GJ, so I'm just gonna, again, just updating this just to keep it clean, to not have more work going into next week. But personally, I'm not trading GJ. And then price gave us a day of rise, and then gave us a day of drop. Then we have that gap in the market that's here. $30-minute gap. Cool. GU, daily time frame. We are in the second level. We were in V1, which is again the first zone consolidation. We had the break, we had the retest, the higher high going into the higher low, looking for the higher high, and price is giving us the higher high. Let's add a few lines here again. June, July, August. Still waiting for a valid BOS. We're still testing these highs, so I'm not going to change that high just yet. On the 4-hour time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, gave us a zone of consolidation, gave us a break. So now we know that we're trading between this 4-hour low down here and this 4-hour high. We got weird candles printing. We'll use the high of this candle and then the high of the wick. We have a weaker rise, no continuations. And then on the 30-minute, we had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. We moved sideways on Thursday. And then on Friday, we did another push to the top side, giving us another set of higher highs and higher lows, which is here. And then these higher highs over here. And now US30, gold, Bitcoin, oil, pretty much. I'm not going to go over them on the stream. I'm also not going to be trading them, so I'm just going to do USDCAD and USDZAR, and that'll be pretty much it for the day. But any questions, guys, let me know. USDCAD, we know that we're still in an area where, do we turn around and say that this is starting the downtrend push, or do we still say that we're in an uptrend, right? Right now, we don't have enough information to kind of say that we're in a downtrend. So right now we're still, as we know it, still in an overall uptrend on the daily time frame, just price making from higher high going into the higher low. But on the 4-hour, we could see that price gave us a change of character, it gave us a break of structure, it gave us a third push, consolidated, fake traders out, making them believe we're going to go up, gave us another lower high to continue into a lower low, right? Even gave us a fake 2 weeks of rise, and then on the third week, price just melted. Didn't give us that third push. Price never gave us a break of structure after the change of character, so we never had any type of confirmation letting us know that price was going to continue to push to the top side, right? So never had those trades. Price still trading between that high, and now we're trading between this low. So right now USDCAD is just moving not sideways. It's moving against the trend at this point still. So again, I'm not really going to be interested in taking USDCAD just yet. Still going to wait this one out. And then after 3 days of drop, market must move sideways or go up, and we move sideways. Right? We had a day of no net, and then gave us another day of drop, and then gave us another lower low into a lower high. And then last but not least, guys, USDZAR is another pair that we are still in an uptrend, right? We're still in V2, which is a second zone consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the top side. We know that we have a gap here at the bottom of the market that we are expecting price to come and fill before we could continue to push to the top side. And that's exactly what price is doing. Gave us another week where price is pushing down, right? And then here on the 4-hour, we could say now that we're trading between higher high, higher low, higher high. And now price gave us a change of character, lower low to the downside. I'm not going to update that just yet. We'll wait till the end of this week so we can see what price wants to continue to do. And then on the 30-minute, just continuing the trend. Lower lows and lower highs. Price ended up giving us a day of rise on Thursday, and then Friday gave us a day of drop. And once again, we're trading now between these lower highs over here and these lower highs, these lower lows down here, and these lower highs up here. Sorry, said that backwards. That's pretty much it, guys. Any questions? Let me know. Any pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. Anything else you guys want me to explain? If not, that's pretty much it, guys. Again, there's no real pair that I would say keep an eye on. A lot of these pairs going into Monday is just gonna be us. I'm not gonna say winging it because we have our rules and we know that in the morning when we wake up and we look at the charts again, if there's something for us, then we'll take it. If there's nothing left on the table for us, then it's all good. We'll be back on Tuesday morning, right? So, for us, it's never about winging it. Just waiting to see if our rules are being applied on the charts. So, any questions, anything else you guys want me to talk about, let me know. I'll give you guys a minute here. If no other questions, no other pairs, then once again, we'll be done. And we'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session, guys. First session of the week. And I will say this again, this week is going to be crazy. Pretty much very similar to this last week. On Wednesday, I'm going back over there to the new spots. So, Wednesday session, I'm not sure yet. Trading session definitely will have it, right? The Wednesday trading session will be done on WAP and on Discord for the members. But the isolation session on Wednesday, I don't know if I'll be. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know if I'll do it. I don't know if I'll have time to do it. But I'll let you guys know on Wednesday. Once I know exactly what it is that's going on Wednesday, I'll let you guys know. But looks like you guys have no questions. Oh man, I can't wait to sleep tonight. No questions? Alright. Oh, let me check Discord. Questions in Discord? No. Alright, cool. Alright, team. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out.